there's something I want to talk about, and it's pretty important, I think. But before I do, I have to explain a little bit first, because I think there's kind of some background information that's really kind of essential to fully understand, all the nuance. I just think maybe it kind of helps to have, a sort of broader. I think we just kind of need to step back a little bit and take another look. But to get a more general idea of where I'm coming from, I think it's important to start at the beginning. And let's not forget that, as with anything, there's a lot of nuance. And I think it goes without saying that some things are just going to be kind of nuanced. So it's important that you have kind of an understanding of where I'm coming from. The most important thing here is to understand my second point, which I haven't gotten to yet, but you need to understand it before we get to my first point. And maybe there's something to be said for, really getting this out in the opening and discussing it. Because I think when you understand kind of the more general issues surrounding this thing I want to talk about, you kind of get a sense of you can get a better sense. I just want to be clear here. I think that it's important is what I'm trying to say. And I think actually before we talk about that though, I think it's much more of a situation where, well, to be clear, it's not so much a situation, but it's, well, let's kind of just let's talk about this. Actually, before we even get to that, I think it's important that you understand a few things. A great example of this, I think, is that there's no. Well, before we get to that, though, a good analogy would be the most important thing here is, for example, let's say, it's important that you actually you need to understand an example. Let's not actually really start discussing some theory. Maybe none of this matters at all, and I'm not even really saying anything.